Hello and welcome to yet another Shaderpack review here on the Shaderpacks channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at Builders quality of life shaders. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and of course if you're interested to see more videos like this, be sure to hit that big red subscribe button. Now Builders QOL has been around for some time. It's also known as Builders quality of life shaders. That's what the QOL stands for, and what this shader pack does is add some very basic effects to Minecraft. It should definitely be considered a low-end shader because, as you can see, it does not add any fancy god rays or high quality shadows. There aren't even any shadows at all. Now because this is a low-end pack, it will give you very high FPS because it only adds a few features. So some of the features it does add are custom clouds and a custom sky. It adds distance fog. It also adds a slightly brighter sun, as well as some very basic ambient occlusion, and of course, clearly custom water. Now in my opinion, this is a little too blurry. That's why I always like to turn this setting down in the shader settings. So the way to do that is go over to your shader settings. So once you've made it to the shader options, click blur. Now if you want to completely disable blur, which I do not recommend because some of the effects actually look kind of cool, you can also just go over to water blur or any of the other blur settings and then change this to, well, 0 if you don't want any blur, but I like to set it to 1 to just have some subtle blur in water. As you can see, it is almost completely clear now, but not entirely. It's a little blurry, and that is just the way I like it. I feel like this setting suits the shader way better and it makes it feel way more natural. So the custom water is one of the features that you do get with the shader pack, and if you're a fan of that, then this low-end shader pack might just be the one for you. Now because it has just a few features, I like to point out the ones it does have. So it has waving grass by default, but you can also enable waving leaves and some other settings, which I will do right now just to show you what you can also make the shader look like. Do keep in mind that if you do enable settings that are disabled by default, you're gonna end up with lower FPS. So I'm back here with some new settings. I only changed like 3 or 4 settings, and now the leaves are waving, colors are way more vibrant by just adjusting the setting called vibrant colors, and it will just add more vibrant colors to Minecraft. And I also enabled depth of field. It's just a very subtle depth of field effect, but it definitely does add some realism to your game. Like I said, if you actually do change all of these effects, you will end up with lower FPS. But this shader pack will run way better than any high-end shader packs nonetheless, even with these settings enabled. I mean, shader packs like BSL Shaders or Complementary Shaders are no match for this one when it comes to FPS. So that's been it for the shader pack review of Builders QOL. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe for more of these kinds of videos, and then of course I hope to see you in the next one.